Hotel Transylvania ends with a happily ever after note for Drax's daughter Mavis and her human partner Johnny. We've all been left curious about how the human-vampire family life would pan out, and Hotel Transylvania 2 shines the story light on Dennis, Vampa Drax's half-human, half-vampire grandson Dennis. Watch it if you haven't. That said, here are the mistakes that we observed while recently re-watching the flick. In the opening scene, we find that Drax has opened up the hotel to allow select humans. And as the monsters are getting ready for Johnny and Mavis's wedding, we see that, monsters being monsters, mess up the beautiful carpet. But a few moments later, we see the carpet is clean again with not a single stain on it. Hotel Transylvania may have spare carpets given that monsters are its guests. In this scene, notice who is sitting closest to the aisle. It's Wayne. What you see here is his back. But in the following shots, we see that Wayne has somehow been moved a few seats further from the aisle. It appears that Mummies took his place, followed by the Invisible Man and his date. Again, over here, notice Johnny's family. It appears that there are only 3 siblings there. If you recall, he had mentioned that he had 6 siblings. Maybe the other 3 didn't approve of his relationship. This scene entails the big reveal for Drax. He will hear from Mavis that he is going to be a grandpa. But what caught us off guard is Mavis's baby bump. It was virtually non-existent till that point in the movie. What do you think? Here is a big continuity mistake. In several instances throughout the film, Dracula jumps from having long, sharp nails to short, round nails, and then back to long, sharp nails only when he's about to use the phone. Now, does he have the power to grow and shrink his nails at will? Looks like the animators, in this scene, failed to account the effects of gravity. Watch as Drax dances with Mavis on the ceiling. Well, her veil still hangs down to her shoulders, even though they're upside down. Notice the way the flavors are arranged on the Slurpee machine. It changes between shots and the security cam views. Again, in this same scene where Mavis tries different flavors of Slurp, notice that her cup is empty. But as the camera switches back and forth from the store manager to Mavis again, we see the cup is full. And yet again, boy, what were the animators doing? Mavis's teeth become multicolored after drinking multiple Slurpees, and they become normal until she drinks the last one. And here again. When Mavis is rapidly filling her cup with various Slurpee drinks, only the knobs of the handle move when she dispenses the drinks. The rods stay in place. The animators were real careless on this scene. Do the producers think that we don't have an eye for details? Movie House proves them wrong. Over here, when Mavis is seen putting Dennis to bed before the wolf party, she tells Drax that Dennis goes to sleep at 8 p.m., but on the sleeping chart behind her, Dennis begins his free time at 8 p.m. Here's a logically inaccurate mistake. Cracked phone screens do not become visible to the recipient on a video chat. It's the typical hardware-software thingy. Yet when Drax cracks his phone, the crack becomes visible on Mavis's phone, who is video calling him. Absurd! Moving on, we've done a little bit of gravity equation calculations here to spot this mistake. Dennis has dropped from the tower for more than 20 seconds before being caught by Grandpa Drax. In reality, that fall of 20 seconds entails a whopping 2,000 meters, which even surpasses the current tallest building in the world. In the screenplay, however, the tower was described as merely 200 feet. The scene also appears to get the weight distribution wrong. When all the characters go to one side of the tower, the weight should make the tower fall down, but it didn't. However, after Dracula leaves and Frank goes to the other side, it happens to fall on his side. Over here, when Dennis's friend jumps into him, she knocks his hood off, which can be seen lying just behind. In the next shot, when we see Dennis's cousin teasing him, the mask lying down is nowhere to be seen. And here, when Dennis finally turns into a bat and knocks off Bella, notice the number of teeth he has. However, when he gets thrown into the tennis court, we can see the number of teeth in his mouth is different. And in this scene, notice that Blob and Johnny's sister are to the left of Drax in the background. But when the camera switches to Johnny's parents, we see them next to Frankenstein and his wife. By the way, referring the no reflection attribute of vampires, technically, Mavis and Dracula should not be able to video chat or have pictures of each other. Along the same concept, in the beginning of the film, Drax and Mavis do not appear in any of the pictures they take. However, later on in the movie, when Mavis is packing her things in boxes, she comes across an old picture of her and Drax in which they are visible. Looks like Dennis's character has received special exemptions from the animators. Notice how when Dennis turns into a vampire, he gets to retain his hair, but when Drac or Mavis changes, it doesn't happen. We had to do a little bit of time zone calculations to spot this mistake. Johnny mentions to Mavis that it is 1 o'clock in Transylvania, which shouldn't be the case as it's about 15 to 16 hours flight from Transylvania to California.
Call home.
Ah, don't do that. It's only 1 a.m. there. Dennis isn't even up yet.
Right.
So it ought to be about 5 to 6 p.m. in Transylvania. Unlike the first
No
installment,
special
Hotel
reason at all.
Transylvania 2 has fewer logical errors. Check out our video on the first part's movie
He's
mistakes,
silly.
and here are a couple of other compilations that you may enjoy. Thank you for watching.